should we talk about the hot topic around town? Should we talk about the BDG fiasco? Should we talk about the BDG fiasco, chat? Yeah, the BDG fiasco was probably the biggest piece of news this week. Maybe I can also provide some advice to you guys as well that don't know much about sponsorship, and we're going to keep playing against Nuno as well. They don't really know much. So for those of you who don't know, Brutal Democracy were a sponsor. They had a few Tekken players. They were mainly in the FGC, but they kind of expanded to other places as well. They're mainly in FGC though.
You ready?
Their biggest players are probably Lil Margin and NG Obscure for like actual sponsored players. Fuck me. Why did that happen? Century, thanks for follow. Boop. 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 Can I boop you, please, Nuno? Ow. Wow. Racism. Yeah, those are like their biggest players. And they had a few streamers as well. I know they had Quietface Mouse. They had a few like other like variety type streamers as well. And they just kind of got bigger and bigger. Yay. Thank you, Sidewall, for always being there for me when I don't want you to be. Fuck me. I'm the best. Then like this week, BDG, they just kind of imploded. People were coming out about stories. They were like, I left them. They weren't treating me right. Management's crazy. Kind of like the main complaint that I saw, which is something that I expected, was when... So a few people came out and basically said, like, when it came to like sponsored stuff and getting gear and getting equipment from sponsors and blah, 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 it kind of always just went to the same 5 people. Apparently always went towards the same 5 people, which didn't surprise me, because when they brought on Lil Margin, to me, what I genuinely thought when they brought on Lil Margin, because he was one of their more recent pickups generally, was, to me, they said, I was convinced they would probably sacrifice like everyone else if it meant they could keep Lil Margin. I was like, they probably sacrifice everyone else. They'll do everything to keep him on. And that's kind of what was happening behind the scenes, you know? They were doing everything for these other players, but everyone else was just like, yeah, but where's my shit, you know? BG always seems sketchy. There we go. Always seems sketchy to me. I mean, even the name itself is edgy as hell. Brutal Democracy. The thing is, I'd heard from like people who were with them before, like their contracts were sketchy as hell from what I heard. Some of their contracts were sketchy as hell, and people were just like, yeah, don't sign. They just don't do it, right? But some people just want to be sponsored, right? Some people want the name, some people want, you know, just the, to them it's just like the, they want to be sponsored, but they don't know what they want to be sponsored for. They just want the name in front of their, they just want the tag in front of the name. They want a shirt. They want to be like, yeah, I'm sponsored, but the sponsor does nothing for them, right? And I think one of the sketchiest things to me was the fact that some of the players, I think some of their streamers had to actually pay like a membership fee, which is like, what? At that point, you're not sponsored. You're taking part in a subscription program. Like, what is that? Like, I think some people sort of chase this idea of sponsorship so much that they don't know what they should actually be looking out for. Noble didn't give you a chair. I need to have words with Haroon, you know, because he keeps going on about this Noble chairs joke. Like, as I can't convince him at this point that Noble and Noble chairs aren't affiliated. I actually just can't convince him of that. But if we do want to talk about what Noble have actually given me, because they're not affiliated with Noble chairs, like, I got a, oh, that was Core Circle back 3. I got a full like care package of like Logitech G stuff from Noble, right? A Logitech G Pro wireless mouse, Logitech G mechanical keyboard, and this Logitech headset I'm using right now. Like, that's just an idea of some of the things sponsors should be providing for you, if that is what's like in your contract. And you know what? Oh, fuck me. Oh, what? Oh my God. What they should be doing for you. You shouldn't be paying them a subscription. They should be paying you, right? And it kind of just seems scummy and like they were taking advantage of people. And the thing for me as well that was so crazy is like they were picking up so many players during quarantine. Like they just kept picking up player after player after player, streamer, fucking Roblox content creators, fucking Brawlhalla content creators, fucking new Tekken player, Lil Margin, right? Just so many players over and over again. And it got to the point where you kind of looked at it and was like, there's no way every single person that they have right now is content. There's no every single person they have right now has a good share of the pie. It's impossible. There's a Kaz player on Noble like you. He's not a sponsored player. He's I don't know if he's been saying he is, but he's an influencer. He's not like a sponsored actual player for the team. I'm Noble's only Tekken player. I'm hoping to maybe next year start expanding Noble's team though. Like if we have the resources for more players, I'd like to start, well, I say scouting. There are players I definitely want. Like it definitely me just be picking up players that I want. I'm like, this guy deserves it, this guy deserves it, blah blah blah. I'm hoping to be able to expand the team next year. Sync is the future. He is the future. I don't get how sponsorship works for this. Aren't they essentially losing money? Seems like there's a lot more to lose than gain. It depends, right? So some sponsors will take a cut of tournament winnings, right? Some sponsors take a cut of tournament winnings. They might earn something back from that. Some sponsors, something sponsors should never do, and what I heard BDG were doing was asking their streamers to give a cut of their revenue, of all their revenue, right? So for example, if I was a content creator for BDG, they would get like a cut of my YouTube revenue as well as my Twitch revenue. Like that's a sponsor should never ever ask for that, ever. Yeah, sponsors will receive money in terms of, so they will have other sponsors. For example, Noble sponsors are Logitech G, Elgato, and Twitch, right? Those are Noble sponsors, so they'll receive money from there. And then also like some sponsors have like a business, which is where like most of their money comes from, and they invest and they earn money, and like they earn money that way. And then for like tier 1 orgs and stuff like that, like League of Legends teams and stuff like that, they will win money from winning the leagues and blah 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 and blah blah blah, right? But like for the most part, like if you're not bringing in that much, you can't really expect to run a sponsored team, because you'll probably always just be hemorrhaging money, especially like where the esports is still really grassroots, like the FGC. You almost always be hemorrhaging money, so you can't really afford to do that. And then you get stuck in like Illusion esports situations like Cherry Mango was in. Something very funny about Illusion esports, oh for fuck's sake, Cherry Mango as well, is like he actually tweeted that Brutal Democracy actually like reached out to him when he got signed by Illusion esports. Like they actually reached out to him to be like, yo, we want you. They reached out to him before, and then they reached out to him afterwards, after he got signed as well, like, yo, like we want you, like don't trust Illusion, blah blah blah, and all this shit, which is crazy because they were almost just as bad. Oh, he knew. But Julia doesn't have a delayed hop kick. Yeah, lots of people don't really know how sponsorship works. He delayed his tech. The little demon. The little demon. Oh my god, I believed in my mid. You know, there's a tournament and it says Noble K-Wish in the overlay. How does Noble gain from that? So a lot of it, like, the thing is, when it comes to sponsors, you are the commodity. You are the commodity, right? So Noble does. So if the thing is, why the like sponsors want players other than to just win, there's a lot of value to, for example, them sending me to like a combo breaker, which, like, the thing is, going to American tournaments was in the plan, unfortunately, but COVID anyway. When I get sent to a combo breaker and then I appear top 16 on the stream, that's however many thousand eyes on the Noble jersey and the Noble brand right now, paying attention, like looking at Noble right now. That's however many thousand eyes. If I win, that's even better. That's even better, right? People see, all right, these guys must be sick, they must be legit, I want to check them out. That was a good showing from that Noble guy, right? I didn't fucking. I mean, we have Fergus in the chat. If we have Fergus in the chat, does he have any insights on this? He's also a multiple sponsored player, like myself. But Noble's like the first big organization I've been with, right? Because Noble's a fairly big organization. Like, they have teams all over the world. You know, there's a Brazilian Rocket League team, American Overwatch teams. They're building like a boot camp in Southeast Asia right now. Like, they're doing a lot of work to help develop players. You waste, man. But I think when you're looking to get sponsored, one thing that's important is you have to understand, especially if it's Tekken, there aren't that many sponsors out there. There aren't that many sponsors out there right now for Tekken. And you have to know exactly what you're looking for to not get screwed over and get yourself in a BDG situation. That's why when I was looking for a sponsor, I wasn't looking at any Tekken sponsors, right? I was like, there aren't really any Tekken sponsors that will probably give me what I want. Not even will probably have the ability to give me what I want. So yeah, when I left after leaving Elf, oh, my hand was off the pad, Nuno. When I left Elf, the first thing I wasn't even looking for like a proper like team, like sponsor. I was looking for like more a sponsor to care for me more on the content creator side of things, because I was gonna like sort of take a step back from competing for like a year and see how that went. I was actually gonna look at UYU actually, because I think I had a fairly good shot of being one of their content creators, I think. But I had the conversation with Spag, and Spag is someone who's like been very like influential to me throughout the scene. He's helped me a lot for a lot of things. And he said what would be best for me is you would probably be best off looking for an actual sponsored team. You're probably looking out for a team that's going to send you to tournaments and blah. That would probably be what's best for you rather than a content team. Looking back on it now, it was probably Spag's way of saying he didn't want to be on the same team as me. Oh shit, why did I do that? Minus 14. Spag's way of saying he didn't want to be on the same team as me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, he was like, what would be better for you is looking at looking for a team that's going to sponsor you to send you to tournaments. And that's why I started doing. He was like, look at Street Fighter, look at other games that have really got like the sponsorship like thing down. Like Street Fighter sponsorship ecosystem is quite good. Like last year for Street Fighter, like Fnatic and Vitality, two huge European esports organizations, were in Street Fighter. There was Shax, I think I'm Still Daddy, and someone else was sponsored by those big organizations, right? So like Street Fighter kind of has like a much better sponsorship ecosystem, because if you watch that Blasted Salami podcast clip, and I'll link it somewhere, if you watch that Blasted Salami clip, they talked about why Street Fighter currently has a better sponsorship ecosystem, and that's because they already had their Tekken 7, right? Street Fighter 4, that was Street Fighter's Tekken 7, right? So they sort of already started building that strong ecosystem. You know, teams were getting involved, eyes were getting on the game, everyone was excited and hyped for it, and that's what Tekken 7 is now. I could have texted that. That's what Tekken 7 is now. Oh my god. We have Liquid in Tekken, and that's actually huge. That's actually huge, having Liquid in Tekken. That is this fucking guy. That is actually huge. And I'm very glad for that. And hopefully that means more big things. You know, maybe TSM, maybe Cloud9, G2, you know? It's just like a big investment. That's the thing. It's a big investment getting involved in a new game. It's also a bigger investment getting involved in something grassroots like the FGC. Since when did Julia have a delay hop kick? Oh, I thought I ducked it.
KO. Round 4. Fight.
So yeah, when it comes to sponsorship, you've just got you've got to like sort of keep your options open, because there isn't much out there right now for Tekken. There still isn't, honestly. Oh my god. And the thing is, especially in like this time period of COVID, you're not gonna find many teams willing to spend money on you right now, you know. This is a bad time for the esports industry, not gonna lie. Hopefully things get better soon though. Yeah, to keep yourself out of a BDG situation, you just gotta like, if you get handed a contract and you don't know what it means, or you don't know what's going on, or like you're just like, if you just get have someone to look over it. I remember Spag talking to me about this, about the BDG contracts. Oh my god. Like I don't think I should disclose this, just out of like, I don't know, decency, but Spag was telling me when he looked to like the contract that BDG wanted to send for CBM, there was a very sneaky clause in there. A very sneaky clause, and that's the best way to describe it. It was so, when he told me about it, I was like, sneaky. That's sneaky. That's so sneaky.
KO.
Thanks for watching.
Round 2. Fight.
I had it as well. So you've got to look over it. Look over it once, look over it twice, get someone to look over it for you, and just don't get robbed. And I think especially in this case, unless you're like a top tier player and you know your value and you know your worth, you can't really expect too much out of sponsors, seriously. Especially with the way the Tekken sponsorship ecosystem is right now. There are very few players that are like making a living off this game just by being a sponsored. I didn't mean to do that. Just by being a sponsored player. Very few. I could probably count them on 2 hands and that's it. I respect that. I could probably count them on 2 hands. Oh, I was so late. I was so late on the punish.
Round 4. Fight.
Yeah, this is just like a little, like, I don't know, off the cuff. I don't know why I keep like reacting to that like that. It's been like a little off the cuff talk about sponsorship. Like, if you guys want me to like go into actual depth about sponsorship stuff and what you should do and blah blah blah, let me know. I'll actually like structure my thoughts and get this together. But I just want to do a little bit of talk about, because the VDG stuff is really like, it's really crazy how many people are getting fucked over, like absolutely fucked over. I think the main takeaways is, do not pay for a sponsor. Do not pay a subscription fee to be sponsored. Look over your contracts for sneaky clauses. Make a YouTube content for it. I might do that, Sky to Rush. Like, I just have like it's just a little off the cuff talk about it. Like, so many people are coming out as well. I was very happy to see like so many people come out and be like, listen, like, numbers, names and whatever in front of your name and blah blah blah, it's not important. It's really not. Because at the end of the day, when all you're getting is maybe a free shot and they're just treating you like garbage, it ain't worth it. Ah, shit. Wasn't Echo Fox invested? One of the big, yeah, Echo Fox was one of the bigger orgs invested in the FGC. But it was, they went out very bad, unfortunately.
Round 2. Fight.
My first sponsor I had to chase him down for a year after I left him and threatened legal action for my money. That's the thing, there's a lot of shady people out here. There's a lot of shady people out here. But I am sorry about that, Fergus. I am sorry. It just took me a while to get the money. You know how it is. You know how it is. It just took me a while. I got, you know. CBM, yeah, CBM's still chasing Illusion, right? I'm glad he has such a good sponsor now. If anyone deserves it after like what he went through, and like just like the skill he is able to provide, like, if anyone deserves that, it's him. 110%. The content he produces is amazing. He's a great streamer and a great player. Yeah, his sponsor's Africa.
Round 4. Fight.
Yeah, sponsorship stuff is really, really, really tricky. Like, because while I was still a free agent as well, earlier this year after I left Elf, I got a few offers from some teams, and like the offers just looked sketchy, you know. Like one of the offers I got, they DM'd me on Twitter and they were like, "Hi, we want you." They weren't clear of like what they wanted from me at all as well. We want you, and then this is what we're able to provide for you. And they basically said what we can provide for you is like, it was like merchandise, collaborations, and then they said maybe opportunities to earn more revenue as a streamer. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm looking to be more of a competitive player. Thank you. Like, it's crazy out here. Like, it's really get taken advantage of season. I'm the best. I am the best to ever do this. Any news in the Saudi tournament? I actually don't know. Honestly, I don't. I got an offer from someone who is offering 50 a month for traveling. 50,000, right? 50, you know. Missing a couple of zeros there, honestly. That's probably like my biggest tip for looking for sponsors in the FGC. Well, I say Tekken especially is like, don't get your hopes up, honestly. You should have taken it, Fergus. No, that's like my biggest tip. Don't get your hopes up. Unless you are like a Tekken World Tour, but a Tekken World Tour hopeful, like genuine, don't get your hopes up. Be modest, I think. Be modest with your demands, but also don't like undervalue yourself. Don't sell yourself short. I'm the best. I'm the best to ever do this. Like, if a sponsor's that will offer you a piece of string. Will offer you a piece of string. A piece of string and a penny. Now go and compete for us. Just say no. The shirt and everything. The clout, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth being taken advantage of. Trust me. I keep dropping that today because I keep looking away. Imagine paying for a shirt. I think that's when you're really down bad. Wow, the belief. The belief in the low. The absolute belief in the low. Oh, the delay.
Final round. Fight.
I know if you... I think I probably know the team you're talking about, Fergus. Not gonna lie. I probably know. But I'm not gonna say it. Oh, mid. Oh, the range. You're a waste man. You're a waste man, Chicken Mario.